up? It's your boy Leo Faded. Welcome to the Straight Faded Podcast. Make sure you check out my merch at leofaded.com. We got a Team No Sleep. We got a Tres Uno Cero. We got all different type right now. Also, you need tattoos or any type of work, hit our Tattoo Galley and shout out Radio Vision. And tonight I got a special guest. He goes by the name of Royce. How you
Hello,
doing, man?
I'm doing great. Nice to be here. Small little room. It's beautiful. Lots of cool things around. Happy to be here.
Nah, that's cool because I got referred by you, but I went through your work and you're like different. You got different artistic ways. And then recently, before you came, you threw me out an idea that you want to talk about.
My art piece.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I didn't have nothing planned for that, because I found you more into the music side. But the other part of the art, it was that, like, how did that one come about? Like, is your main focus or it has to do with your music?
So, the way I started making art was because of music. When I was little, I've always just been in bands. I have an older brother. He plays guitar, and I always remember trying to just try and keep up with him. So I remember just like playing the bass. That's how I started off, and then I would play the drums, and then now I just sing. And so I just kind of started off my creative journey through just expressing myself through sounds and just making songs with my friends in garages and playing house parties, playing bars. But yeah, I kind of just found myself through music, and I just remember for me, it's all about performing. Like, just being on a stage and being able to just see what comes out, I feel like improvisation is a really big part of just being a creative. So yeah, I think with all that said, like, I just remember just finding myself through performing, and slowly but surely I would make like album cover arts for like our songs and stuff. So that's kind of how I started getting into like making actual art for like our songs and stuff. And then other bands would pay me money because they liked what I did, so they wanted me to do it for them. And
Kind of like a ghostwriter?
no, album art. Album art.
The covers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I really got into artwork through just like album art and stuff like that. I started off with collage, and collage is just like cutting up like different magazines or books or just any sort of imagery. And yeah, I don't have any like art skills, but
thank you everyone for watching this podcast. You could go ahead and follow me on my Instagram. It's Cevichazo. I have a whole menu right there for you guys. So yeah, check me out. Try my food. If you have not, go ahead and plug in with me. I got you. Fix up, for the crew and all that. So let's get it, man. Shout out to Lil Faded, Straight Lil Faded Podcast too, and everybody out there hustling. Let's get this money, man.
I mean, that's an art. That's an art if you think about it,
It definitely is. I'd like to think that you don't really need to have these tactical skills in order to be a real artist. I think that when you have a vision and you know what you like, and you don't like, you're able to really just follow that. And I think for me, after like making album art, I wanted to make bigger pieces. I really wanted to like impact people more in a way where if I spent the time and energy to make these pieces that took a long time to make, I would want them to like really feel like it meant something to them. So yeah, now I'm making art for people's walls. I like to say I inspire people to bring out the best version within themselves, because I feel like in this world we're always kind of just seeking things to sort of complete us, and like we're always being influenced, and like our minds are just always just sometimes on autopilot, and like it's just one of those things where it's like it's good to understand yourself, and I like to do that through these artworks, and I offer these things called soul symbols to people.
How long you been making music?
So my music stuff, I started off like at 11, right? Just playing in garages and stuff. And now recently I'm kind of like on hiatus, right? Like my band broke up like a year ago. I was together with this band with my brother since I was 18. I'm 27 now. We broke up like at the end of 2022. Yeah, so like basically once that band ended, I've kind of just went all in on my art. But you know, I'm still always singing. I'm still always just like involved in music in some kind of way. It's just right now I'm kind of just like expanding my horizons past the people I've been playing with, and I kind of want to make a new band, and it's gonna be called Crud.
Yeah. Where do you come from?
Wait, what?
Where do you come from? Like what city?
Oh, well, I grew up in San Pedro. You know, I grew up right above Gaffey, next to the Boys and Girls Club.
So you're a Harbor area artist, you could say?
A harbor area?
Yeah, like you're from the Harbor area, you could say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm from San Pedro, grew up here, and yeah, it's I just definitely I went to different schools. I went to the schools right next to San Pedro, which was Rancho Palos Verdes. So I kind of had like this sort of differences in like I would go to school and have friends there, and then I would actually have friends I would hang out with on the weekends in San Pedro. So it was kind of like this weird divide I always remembered, and it's kind of funny. Over there, they would actually think that I was Mexican, like super Mexican, because Spanish was my first language.
You come from a Mexican family?
My mom's from Guadalajara. Yeah, she's from there, and my dad's from Connecticut, East Coast. He's Polish, so that's why I kind of look white. But
do you use your Mexican side a lot, or?
Well, that's what I was saying. So like when I was at these schools when I was younger, it was kind of funny. They would think I was really, really Mexican, and they would treat me as such, which I found kind of funny because like, I mean, I feel Mexican because I grew up with that culture, but it's just like it's not something I always identified with. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And with the music on the bass, that was the first instrument you played, because I say you do more than just the bass.
Yeah, so I started off slapping the bass. Red Hot Chili Peppers is a big influence of mine. Ever since I saw Flea, I wanted to be the same, and the way I got started with just being a creative was just standing in front of the mirror and believing that I could be that thing. And I just remember when I was 12, just rocking out in front of the mirror, sweating really hard, and having this idea that I could be Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, for sure. But I was gonna ask you too. You said you had a breakup with the band, or you recently broke up. Like, how is it having a band? Is it hard? Like, what are the ups and downs about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, you know, being in a group where there's creativity, everybody kind of has their views or an opinion or whatever, and yeah, that's kind of the thing that you have to really learn to like really talk with each other, really understand what each other likes and don't likes, and yeah, at the end of the day, these were people I knew very well since high school, so we all seen each other do dumb shit and even see each other in their best moments too. So I think when you're in a group like that, you're not afraid to say like what you think is a good move, like whether it be like, oh, let's write this for a bridge, or like, you know, let's have this be about the verse or something. And I think at the end of the day, groups only work when you are really confident with who you are as an artist, and you have something to bring to the table, and you're not like dependent, you're kind of independent from the group. And when you all come together, it's kind of like the Avengers, you know. You're kind of just like everybody has something to bring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you make your own rock, or the style you make is rock, or what would you consider it?
Like psychedelic funk, you know, psychedelic sex funk, you know. It's real funky stuff.
What's that, psychedelic? Is that like a drug, or what is it? I heard of that, but I don't know what it really means.
Well, what I mean by psychedelic, it's like coming from like that psychedelic 60s era of like rock and roll, like Jimi Hendrix is an example, like acid rock, like, you know how like like sometimes the guitar doesn't actually sound like a guitar. Like it's like holding different notes, and like there's different effects going on. You know, there's modern like psychedelia music, and I like to think that we fall under that category. So yeah.
I thought it was like a new genre that you like came across that you like created or something like that, you know? Because even your cover arts, I was watching them. They're like different. They're like animated. You had like some type of animated to the cover, you know? Like it could look like trippy. I would call it look kind of trippy.
Yeah, I like to definitely. I like delays. I mean, the way you guys found me was I was singing in an underground parking lot because I like the echo of it. And this, Priscilla, the very nice lady, came and she said, "Who are you?" So I like the effects of things. I like it when I like actually doing simple music and it's clean and then raw, and then also this opposite effect where it's just like there's like effects on, and you're just like messing around with like delays and different things of that nature.
Yeah, sure. One of the I think I saw that one of your bands was called Two Cat, something like that.
Oh, yeah, that was one group.
How many
that,
groups you been in?
um there was No Parking, Two Cats, Cosmic Slaps, and then Flaming Dingoes, which turned into Fusion Flow.
Is that the new one? New one? 'Cause I saw that was like a more recent name that you've been using more.
Yeah, that was the old band I was in for a long, long time. That's when I first became a frontman, and I
What does
was
that mean? Like the main one?
no frontman is the hype guy, the guy who brings the energy up, and the idea of a frontman is no instruments for me at least.
Yeah.
I guess something interesting to share is like when I was 18, I decided to actually drop all instruments. I just remember that my brother was insanely good. He was an insanely good musician, so he's very technically good, and he was way better than me. So I kind of went the visual route, and I was just like, I'm gonna present more of a better like show, and I was always thinking of the experience of things, and like that's how I kind of like fell into this lane of just like wanting to be like a performer slash vocalist. I didn't really know how to sing, but I did it, and I got better as I went along, and it was really more about me just doing a handstand as my brother shredded a note, solo. And I remember climbing on like different ceiling rails and jumping off rooftops at house parties. I just remember wanting to have a band where it was really not just about the sounds, but also the energy and the attitude and personality of things. So that to me is what a frontman is. It's someone who brings that different perspective into a music world.
And you done like a couple shows too. You said you did backyard shows too. Um, from all the bands you ever had, which one you think was like most wildest one you've done and said, yeah, like I did my thing on that one.
I mean, yeah, this most recent band, I was with them for like 10 years. I mean 9 years, I guess. And yeah, that group was basically a different combinations of the previous group. They're pretty much almost the same members, but a little slight variations here and there. Um, but yeah, that group, I just remember being at a house party, and every time we would start a show, I would always advocate for a improvisational moment where you read the entire room and sort of just first jam out for a minute or two. And I remember coming out on top of a roof, and everybody was just like cheering, and I just remember jumping off, and it was a crazy feeling as my brother was just like ripping a fat shredder.
Who are some other bands that inspire you growing up?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, like I said, I think I really resonate with just how they perceive the world. I think that they are all about expressing themselves and just being really true to their raw nature. Like that's really why I make art. It's like it's about really just because well, now I'm going on tangent, but basically, whenever I perform, I look at it as where like I kind of just my whole mind goes blank and I forget who I am, and it's just like I start remembering who I really am past all these like personalities or identities we think we are, because you know you think you're an artist and you're singing on stage, but really like as you're doing it you start realizing like you start going back into the simple ways of like your childlike spirit. And I think Red Hot Chili Peppers is a great example of that, where they anytime they performed they showed like the natural rawness of who they were. So that's really what inspired me to do the same.
How often do you practice your music?
Well, I'm just doing art at the moment, and I love listening to music.
So your main focus is art right now, then?
Yeah, you know, as the world sort of kind of guided me, it showed me that art is kind of my path for really making an impact with people anywhere in the world. Because you know, I've had collectors buy. I think there was one from Virginia, still in America, but you know, all over. I can still, you know, talk with people all over the world because of the internet.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's why you know, for me, that's the best version of myself with all my skills combined. Yeah, I just feel really inspired to just help people because I've been an EMT since I was 20. I'm still an EMT right now, and you know that's a part of the medical field, a lot of patient care, and what I like to do with my art, it feels a lot like patient care, where like I'm kind of just being an ear for people, and I'm still kind of doing the same thing as an EMT, but it's not medical, it's emotional.
Yeah, because it's like two different careers, so it's like you gotta kind of balance it or find out like what's gonna work, or do you apply to it? Like for example, whatever you learn on EMT, you apply to your music, and your music you apply for your other career.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's all kinds of there's a lot of there's a lot of uh there's a lot of good things that come out of that job, that you know it's opened my perspective, where like I having that kind of a job, like you definitely, I don't like to feel like I'm living in a bubble where like I want to see the truth of things even if it's like terrible. And
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
the kind of person I am. Like I go and seek the truth no matter even if it's ugly. Like recently I got scammed and I lost $18,000.
Damn, how you get scammed?
Oh shit. Let me put on my hood real quick. I mean, okay, so well, so I met this stupid profile of this chick online, and we were talking about crypto, dude.
Oh, damn, they got you like that?
They got me like that, but you know, there's many reasons why I did something like this. Uh, you know, the situation I'm in, I kind of just really wanted to get out of the place of where I was, and I was willing to do anything. And this girl and I were, you know, making money, and it felt really real. And at the end of the day, I had a pretty good idea that it was probably a scam, but I still did it anyway.
Yeah, you risked it.
I risked it, and I think the good things that came out of this was I definitely got to feel the feeling of what true abundance feels like, and that's kind of really what I um, learned from that situation. At the end of the day, I saw money differently, because then I was up 100,000. Like I was trading, right, and I only put like 15,000 at that point.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. And
Not bad.
and at that point, I was just really feeling like, what is the most important things that make me happy? Because at some point, I was just like, I'm financially free. Like I had that thought of just like, oh, I'm no longer constrained to this, you know, idea of like we always need to be making money, and I started really thinking about what makes me happy, and I started perceiving myself differently, which was awesome. And like I'm still there in my mind. I feel like I'm still truly abundant, and at the end of the day, it taught me a huge lesson, because right now I saw it as a challenge to basically get all that money back, and I'm 4,000 away from reaching that goal. Like I started on January 1st, getting all this money back, and
Pretty fast.
yeah, I pretty much I'm almost there, and
Yeah.
I think that's what the situation was meant for, was to basically have me put pressure on myself to get out of the comfort zone I was in, and break my habits, and just really get to the next level that I wanted to be in. And so this kind of pushed me.
You say it, Red Hot Chili Peppers, your favorite band. I saw that you went to see them, but you snuck in or something like that. Or they sold out, and then you were able to see them like right in front of them. How'd that happen?
Yeah, you know, I've never paid for a Red Hot Chili Pepper show ever. I've always snuck in to any of their things, and I think they would be proud.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest ones, because I've seen them, I think, a few times now. Do you know the Ace Hotel in Los Angeles?
No.
Okay, there's this place called the Ace Hotel, and it was like this like hotel looking place, and I remember me and my buddy went and we circled the building multiple times, and we brought like multiple outfits, and like we were prepared, like we were ready to sneak into this place, and we actually met the drummer.
Yo, what's up? You're on the Straight Faded Podcast. I'm Anthony Campos, aka Big Citric. And make sure to check me out at BigCitric.com. I do acting and stand-up comedy, so you never know when you might catch me at a city near you. Wait. Straight Faded, dog is.
Yo, what's up? It's the Bullet, and you tuned in to the Straight Faded Podcast. You already know, bring you that raw material. And you guys check out my new freestyle, Victory Lap Freestyle, on my IG page on the YouTube. Check it out.
Yo, what up? This is Crystal on Straight Faded Podcast. Check me out on IG at Yesca Cristal. That's LLESCA CRISTAL. And also, if you feel like it, subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's Sugar and Spice, all one word.
I met the drummer a long time ago, but we met him. I met Chad again. We found him in the back of the building smoking a cigarette, and we were just chatting with him for like a solid 20 minutes. Just me, him, and my buddy. And yeah, I just remember having this conversation where we're like, I don't have a ticket to your show, but I'm going to sneak in. And he's just like, I would sneak it in, but they would kick me out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but you weren't prepared. You already had your 2 suits ready.
Yeah, we so at that same area of the back of the building, we noticed they would come out for cigarette breaks, and then we ended up sneaking through that door, and we got in, and we ended up for that show being like inches away from where the guitarist was, so it was pretty cool.
Fusion Flow, is that another band style, or that's your new band?
Oh, that's the band name, or that's the band I was a part of.
Oh,
for
that's
a
the
long
old
time.
one. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Fusion Flow. We kind of had just a name change. You know, I'm really obsessed with having brands, so I really wanted to make a more of an interesting brand. Actually, I want to actually make the statement now. I really like our original name, Flaming Dingoes, a lot better because it's just funnier.
Yeah,
So-
it took me a while to, like, when I was trying to read it, I couldn't get it. I was like, how do you pronounce it? I was trying to put them together and I said it like 3 different ways. Well, like, that's pretty dope. But it sounded like a name I heard before, though. Like, it's like a name that you have heard, but then sometimes you haven't, you know? Like, what is it mixed of, or what? How you got the name?
Fusion Flow or Flaming?
The flaming one.
Great, fantastic question. My brother came in one day after band practice, and he said he just let go of a really hot flaming dingo, and he was referring to him taking a dump. So that's how that name, I think, first came about. He referenced his his bowel movement as a dingo.
um, Immerse Records. You guys are signed to a label, or what was that?
Oh, okay. That's my buddy's company.
Oh, okay.
He does coaching, and he has like different programs for Ableton. He teaches people how to do Ableton. And at first we started off in the garage, like taking just anybody, and like I would help him out. But yeah, that's his business. He's like a coach, and he does like music production programs.
And you do audio engineering too, right? Like you know how to work that?
No, that's the thing. You know, I've been fortunate and grateful enough to be surrounded by great people who know it already.
Oh, okay.
And I've always been the one to just look at things kind of unconventionally. So I never really touched any of that stuff. Yeah, my friends always helped me out.
I saw you also read a book called Mastery.
Oh, that's not my book.
Oh no, you read it, but you know, like, what you learned from that book?
Mastery?
Yeah, that's a dope book. That's a.
I remember it talked about mentors. Talked about mentors a lot, and I remember reading that book before I got like one of my first mentors, and I just remember before that, I was thinking, how does someone who has nothing offer someone who has a lot of things? You know, that's how do you gain a connection with someone like that? And it's just like I remember learning like just having you being like true to yourself and like having like this energy about yourself where like just a lot of people who are much older like having this youthful energy, and like that in itself is value. And sometimes we forget even those kind of small things are actually really important. So I don't know, I think having a mentor, that book taught me how to like basically understand how I can give value to a mentor.
Also,
Yeah.
you were on like in a room full of TVs. Is that like different rooms, like where they shoot music videos, or you actually? 'Cause I don't know. You were actually putting it together, or what was that?
Yeah, so 2019. Yeah, let's just say 2019, maybe around that summertime. I found one of my friend's companies. It's called Media Pollution, and I was a part of a TV video art collective, where it was a group of people who were into video art, like VJ. You know, like how you have a performance and there's like a projector behind you. Yeah, they would make video art and stack TV walls on top of each other, and do like installation art for music videos, movies, TV shows, festivals. So yeah, I was helping him out for a few years, and at some point I was living down in the Arts District Brewery in downtown LA. It's like one of the biggest artist communities in U.S. And yeah, I was there helping him out, learning how a business works, and yeah, he was nice enough to introduce me to an art form that I was interested in, because at that time I was always trying to create the best experience for like my band, as like for shows and performances. So I got really into like lights and just different cool things to make your shows look cooler. And then I saw people stacking TVs, and then I found Media Pollution, and they were basically the kings of TV art. And yeah, they showed me their world, and I learned a lot from them. And now they have a full-fledged team of experts who are bringing that company way up, and they're doing big things. It's cool seeing their
No, 'cause that's a
progress.
dope thing, and like you being creative, you think like you could bring all that to your band. 'Cause you make your own beats too, right?
Beats,
Like your own sounds, like you
uh,
write your own songs too for your band and all that. Or,
yeah. So I mean, I would just write the lyrics and I would perform.
But like original lyrics, or like
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about like the drums and the?
I have a friend of mine who's been drumming for me for years.
So he just does his part, you do your part, and you just put it together.
Yes,
Cause
that's
oh my bad.
oh.
Cause I saw a video that you guys were making a beat out of utensils. So I was like, how was that experience? You know, that's something fresh, something, you know.
Yeah. I remember my friend. He came back from his college. He was like in some music school in Boston, and we were just trying out different recording techniques, and he was showing me all of his skills because he was really excited about it, and he was really feeling like creating like different sounds with like different things around the house, and he was like showing me how crazy that was. And I remember at that time we were writing Underground, and we had a solo where it was like we grabbed spoons and pots and different things, and we were just like we created a solo out of that, which is cool. Yeah. What was the other question before that?
No, I'm just saying because that's like some original stuff. Like you make the beats out of utensils. So I feel like with all the I say tools. So for example, you go to that room full of TVs, and it makes your band looks good. Or when you go perform with the lights, you know, like you could put lights on your band, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you make your original beats. Like, how do you make your band be better? How do you make it look better? You know.
Yeah, I mean, how do I make it look better? I think for me, it's always been about having a moment. And I like this idea of just like, kind of goes back to mastery actually, just like practicing your craft and getting really good at the thing that you want to get good at. And then you go out there and it's just like one moment, like whether it's 10 minutes or an hour or 45 minutes of just like everything that you've worked so hard beforehand all comes down to this one moment. Everything else, that all the time and energy you put beforehand, it's just like nobody sees it, and it almost doesn't matter because all you have is that moment. And I've always been into the idea of creating an exceptional moment where people are like, what the fuck just happened? And am I allowed to do that for you?
No, you're good.
Okay, fuck yeah. All right, fuck yeah. All right, and yeah, I want to create this moment of just like whoa, like astonishing, where it's just like, what just happened? And I've just always been after that, you know, where our performances, I wanted it to make it the best possible, and whether it was, you know, how we introduced the whole show at first, like an intro and an ending, and I treated it as a real performance. So I think that's what really motivated me to, you know, want to make it an experience.
And being on a band, like, have you ever had that moment where you smash a guitar?
Not me.
So
Not,
you had that vibe yet though, like around you?
yeah, yeah. There was one of my friends. He smashed the guitar.
You think that was his moment, or what?
Yeah, no, I believe that I believe in bringing out your ego when you're performing, because if you're not bringing out your ego, then you're not really operating on another level where like you're you know, have this relentlessness about you where you just are just bringing out this just version of yourself that you never really thought was there. And yeah, I think that having moments of like breaking your guitar, it's just showing other people that like you can really just do whatever you want if you really desire to. And it's just like it comes from this abundance perspective. But yeah, my friend broke a guitar and I thought it was sick.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you have to go through that once, at least once, you know.
Yeah, I've also done a handstand at the Viper Room in Los Angeles, and
I think you said you broke an arm or something like that. You land on your face.
I landed on the bass drum and I cut my shoulder. I didn't get stitches, but I cut my shoulder on the bass drum.
Damn.
And I was bleeding, and it was kind of insane, and I thought it was really cool. Yeah.
The inner compass art piece. That's a piece you want to talk about. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. Inner compass. I think that piece to me is like, it's just it's a piece that shows that, you know, you, for the people who are willing to explore the unknown, willing to go into what they feel is right for them and not being influenced by anything external. I think this piece, it shows a little diver kind of going into an inception, an endless sort of road and like of self-discovery. And yeah, it's a piece where it's just like it reflects being really in touch with yourself, knowing who you really are and following that and knowing your truest path. Because for me, I've been an EMT on, at my job, and it's never changed who I really feel like I really am, which is a creative. So I've always just stayed true to that path, even though there's all kinds of influences that tried to lead me down another road. I've always felt like that was my path, and that piece kind of reflects that.
I'm gonna tell you a quote and let me know what you think of it.
Okay.
It says, "I think dying is the ultimate high." What does that mean?
Dying is the ultimate high. That reminds me of something that I like to say, which is like die before you die, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I think, wait, what was the ending? Die?
I think dying is the ultimate high.
Ultimate high. Yeah, I think that really relates with just letting everything go. Like, not being detached or attached to anything. And, like, it's not necessarily dying. It's just the fact that you're able to just, like, completely start over again. That to me is what that means.
Do you have any upcoming events? Anything you want to promote?
Oh, I make art. I do these things called visualization conversations, and these conversations are really something I'm passionate about giving to people, because it helps people understand themselves better. It helps me understand my artistry better, and it's like a conversation where you and I, like, we would have it, and we would have an opportunity or a chance to birth some sort of inspiration where I would think of a painting to make out of that conversation. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I do these conversations so I can make soul symbols for people. That's really my main focus currently. Is I offer these things called soul symbols.
Where can they check you out? Where can they find you at?
Just this thing called the internet. It's I'm on there. I do stuff on there, and NoWacki is my like internet name that I go by, just in case, to avoid anything weird in the future. But yeah, NoWacki, you can just search that, and I'm online, man.
What's up, you guys? It's your favorite host. It's Mary Alex from theradioshow.com, 900 AM, and we're here. Check me out on Straight Faded Podcast.
Yeah, what up? This Smokes MC. What up? Spanish Fly MC, Mexican MC. Right here on the Straight Faded Podcast. Yeah, with your boy Lil Faded.
What up, what up? This is Sleepy Malo, the bad man, and I'm here at Straight Faded Podcast. Look out for my new music. Shout out to everybody out there. It's Mob G, baby.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is Wicked Baby Doll, and you're watching Straight Faded Podcast. Check it out.
No, thank you for pulling up, man. It was like nice to meet you.
Yeah, I mean,
And yeah, no, what?
I could keep going, bro. I'm kind of into this. This is good.
No, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Next time
Yeah.
you got anything to talk about, the doors are always open. We could do another episode. Like,
Yeah, like real quick, I want to ask something about you. Like,
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
like, how long have you been going with your music career?
probably about 12, 13 years around there.
Mm.
At least. I give
Okay.
it that much.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And where do you usually like do performances at?
Then different areas. I at least like to go to different areas. Last Sunday we was performing Moreno Valley. Shout out Moreno Valley. Different areas. Like I like to network at least. I feel like going to different areas that people don't know is a perfect place to network.
Mm-hmm.
At least you could bring some shine to it, or leave something about it. There's gonna be something about that place that people are gonna relate to or like.
Mm.
But everywhere, like I've done San Francisco, I've done like Santa Monica, different LA areas, like in the IE, different places. Right now I'm trying to do out the state though, but for sure.
Out of state.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, before it ends, I wanted to be that guy and give you this little piece of art.
Oh damn.
And you know, remember this conversation. And
No, for sure. You made this?
yeah, it's a little collage I did. It's actually upside down, but
Like this?
yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, I think it looks trippy. It looks dope for sure.
Yeah.
No, thank you, man. This is
Yes.
like cool piece to remember. I'm for sure. I'm gonna put it somewhere around here. Watch, you're gonna
Sure.
see it a lot more when people come.
Cool.
You're gonna see it.
Yeah.
This is dope. What does it mean? What's the process for this? Is diving? He's diving?
It's just paper. You know, it's like I glued different layers of it, and
Also, you patched it up.
yeah,
like you
this
said?
is a print. This is just a print. But
Oh.
yeah, the original is like there's a bunch of layers on it. But yeah, those are optical illusions.
It looks hard. Like it was dope.
Heck yeah.
No, thank you. Next time we'll probably see her at like an art gallery or something. You know, like
Yeah,
get
I
you out
want to
there.
know how to. So downstairs. Are we still recording? Are we still going? But,
Yeah, I'll see her.
Okay. Downstairs, like, tell me about that. Like, when do they have those events? I'm interested.
I don't really know much about it, but my friend she does tattoos. Like that's some of her art. She has them like all over the hallway too. But she's the one that be putting me on game with the art, and I know down there they got like an art gallery, and sometimes like people display them, and they got prices on it. And I know the frame that you sent me, I was like, oh, that would be dope to put, and you could probably get some sales or get out there more, you know. So I feel like those type of events will help you. Like you go to those, you'll find somebody who could connect or help you out, do something with your art, you know. Like
Yeah.
for sure, like the prints are nice.
Thank you. So, like, it's not a consistent thing. You would just have to keep up with, like, what are they called?
I don't know the name, but they have probably like monthly events.
Mm.
So probably like once a month or so, you catch them right there. Or whenever you want to drive by, like you'll see them right there, and you could just walk in and meet people.
Do they have an Instagram? Or
They probably do. I'll check it out later and I'll send it to you. Well, I'm pretty sure they do.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I would love to do that. The only reason why I haven't started exhibiting my stuff, I've done it here and there, but I want to make more commissions for people. I want to just help. I want to impact people on the one-to-one basis with some commissions, and once I get more commissions up, then I feel like I can like talk more about what it is I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think right now I'm just focusing on just creating commissions, taking it one step at a time. The algo has fucked with me yet again because I haven't posted in like 2 years. So I'm trying just to get on any podcast, get on anybody else's channel to bring traffic. You know, that's
Not for sure. I could
that's kind of
connect
the
you with
goal.
different podcasts if you want to go out and do
Yeah,
your thing, you know.
that would be amazing. I'm just trying to get better at speaking. That's a real big goal of mine. Being able to talk about like what it is I do in an interesting way. So, you know, yeah.
No, I feel like we all got interesting things we do. We just don't talk about it like you said for real.
Yeah, I think with what I do, I really just want people to understand like their rawness of themselves. As weird as that sounds, but just like being able to like separate yourself from who you think you are versus like the real self when you're like put under pressure. You find out who you really are whenever you have pressure on you.
Yeah, especially like the people, like they feel like they could censor you, or even like that how you were talking about that algorithm. Like now they're censoring you. Like if you do certain things online, they'll cancel you, block you, and leave you like they don't let you be yourself. Like you said, raw, unique. Like they don't let you speak. They don't let you say certain things, certain words, and I feel like that's another way. Like they don't let us be ourselves at least. You know, people hold back.
Yeah, everybody's got an agenda.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an agenda, whether you realize it or not. And like, yeah, Instagram's got their agenda, and if it's not according to their guidelines or how they want, how they want you to perceive things, they're definitely gonna reduce your reach.
Not for sure.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
an
feel like
interesting
the
thing.
podcast and all that, or our people, is what helped us. Like people sharing it, people like liking it, talking about it, giving that awareness at least.
Mhm.
That's the only way we could expand, I guess, you know, like they could block us here sometimes, like online they could block you, or they won't let you reach certain people, but once your people help you share it, they'll reach their people, you know. That's the only way we could bypass that, at least. That's how I see it. I don't know, you know.
What do you think about like being able to say something kind of outlandish, but just to get their attention at first, and then if you really have something meaningful to say, does that justify it?
What do you mean?
So like saying something outlandish, like saying, something crazy, where people go, why did he say that? And then basically that's just to get your attention, and then you say really what you mean afterwards. What do you think about that? Like, is that right?
I don't think it's right, but they're reaching. You know, they want that attention type, you know.
I think that's just the world we're living in, man. Like, it's a world full of a lot of saturated noise. And
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
even if, like, let's say you really do have great intentions and you want to do good for the world and you really want to like help and you want to inspire, you start kind of getting the idea that you have to kind of be a little bit more amplified and do things on an extreme level just to get people's attention at first. It's like an interesting thing because you don't want to like do something that you're not like proud of, or you'll regret. But like, I think with that approach, it's the only way to really have someone listen to you nowadays, is by getting their attention first and then explaining yourself later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we gotta see how we go about things. Well, even that, because you could say certain things and some people will react good, some will react bad. You know, like some people think alike and some people don't. So that's another thing. Like, how crazy do we speak? 'Cause that's crazy shit, you know, that's crazy things. And some is normal. The crazy shit is normal to us sometimes. Then to other people, they were like, oh, damn. When we over here, like, that's regular, you know? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, everybody has different levels.
Yeah, that. Different levels.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, it's like with your music, right? Like, how would you go about getting people's attention? How would you do that?
Like, for that, it's all visual. Like, I would have to do something crazy to let them come check me out, you know? Because when you make something, like you said, like, out of it, they're going to be searching you. They're going to find, like, they're going to deep in you. That's how you get them. They'll go through your music. Like, for example, they were searching you. They're gonna go through your like bands, his art, everything you do, your EMT. Like, they're gonna really deep in you and like pick something that is gonna be like, nah, this was way crazier than me. Like, I'm not tripping, you know. Like, they was gonna find something about you regardless. And being like, some people, like, let's say you're on a higher level, the people below you, they're already like gonna try anything to get the attention. So think about it. Like, they're trying to get your attention some way, but they don't see it like us, you know, 'cause we're on a different level, and we don't really mind to it, 'cause it's like, you really think like that, and they'll be trying to get our attention or whatnot, but they can't reach us. It's the same thing as, you know, like, if we speak of something that we up here, the people below us, or the level people, they're like, that's crazy, but the other people that understand us, that with us, they're gonna understand us.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird, right? Because
Yeah.
like it's just there's so much information. I think that's really what it is. Like technology has amplified our connection in ways where we don't know how it's gonna affect the future, right?
Not for sure, but even this, like, this is the phone.
Uh-huh.
It's a big tool. I call it my tool, because it depends what you use it for. People be in bed or whatever, 24 hours doing nothing on their phone, on their TV. But if you know how to make something out of it with your phone, you can make a lot of things. Like we could be sitting right now, making money as we speak. Think about it. If we use a tool for that,
Yeah.
like, there's different ways to go about things, like, for the good, at least, you know. But it's who's gonna see the good stuff we do? It's hard to find those people.
Yeah, I think I mean, so like I think it's totally okay if you were to do something outlandish for the greater good. I think that's the point I was thinking of, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's you performing at a bar and stripping off your clothes just to show that you're a free-spirited guy, and you want to inspire people to feel the same. I think that's outlandish and a little bit extreme. It gets people to really think on another level.
Yeah, and it's crazy as it sounds. Like there's actually people that do that. You're not even lying, but like there's a bunch of people that could relate to that certain thing. And who are the crazy ones? The people doing it, or the people knowing that they're right? Like they gotta go do whatever makes them happy. How you were talking about that thing that make you happy. Like everybody lives happy differently too. Like everybody take things different, do things different, and to each his own, I guess.
Mhm. Mhm. Interesting stuff.
Nah, but for sure, like let's do another episode whenever you got time, and I feel like we could get to a deeper subject.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. It's like you kind of like step in. You're kind of like, now I feel warmed up. So it's cool. It's cool.
No, for sure. Like we gotta get you going. Like you got a lot to say and a lot. Yeah, you got a lot to say. You gotta learn how to speak. Learn how to talk. Let people know what you're about.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I really, at the end of the day, I just want to inspire people to bring out the best version within yourself, because at the end of the day, you're already complete. You have everything within you already. Doesn't matter how old you are. You've always had that within you, and you just have to make the choice and give yourself the permission to arrive. So
that part, your boy Leo Fade, your boy Royce.
Yeah.
Thank you for pulling on. Nice to meet you, man.
Amazing conversation. Thank you.